Okay, we are live, so whenever you're ready.
All right, welcome to tonight's meeting and thank you for tuning in. My name is Chris McCandless. I am the Vice Chairperson for the Rio Linda Alberta Community Planning Advisory Council, also known as the Rio Linda Alberta CPAC. The CPAC members are volunteer citizens appointed by the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors. The council shall be advisory only to county agencies. The purpose of the CPAC is to encourage citizen participation in the planning processes, provide local forums to develop and propose community goals and objects, to serve as a local sounding board for new proposals offered by county staff and others, and to assist the county planning agencies and the Board of Supervisors in carrying out approved community plans and the county's general plan. The function of the CPAC may include updating community goals and plans, develop and propose community improvement programs, review and comment upon proposed amendments to the general plan, specific plan, zoning changes, conditional use permits, and related zoning matters. Advisory recommendations are forwarded to hearing bodies, including the zoning administrator, the subdivision review committee, the county planning commission, and the Board of Supervisors. Our meetings are always open to the public and are listed in local neighborhood newspapers, posted at libraries and meeting sites. Courtesy notices are mailed to the property owners within 500 feet of the project based on the address on record and posted on the county's website. All right. Have the CPAC members introduce themselves for roll call.
This is Hal Morris from Rio Linda.
Bob Reising, Rio Linda.
And this is Chris McCandless, Rio Linda.
Okay, Chairperson McCandless, I have the announcement, if that's okay with you, that I go ahead and read.
Yes.
Okay. In compliance with directives of the county, state, and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this meeting is live streamed and closed to the public. Temporary procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person contact. To make a verbal comment at today's meeting, dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed in the queue for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter. When I open the public comment for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter, you will be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make your verbal comment. Written comments are always accepted. Send your email comment to boardclerk@sacp.net. Your comment will be routed to the council and filed for the record. Chairperson McCandless, would you like me to call the first item?
Yes. Did we establish a quorum, Stephanie? Not that
we do. We do.
Necessary.
Yes, for the record, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Yes, please call the first item on the agenda.
Okay. Item 1 is an informational item, Marysville and West Elkhorn proposal. It's located at the southwest corner of West Elkhorn Boulevard and Marysville Boulevard in the Rio Linda, Alberta community.
Good evening, Rio Linda CPAC, Rio Linda, Alberta CPAC. This is Kimber Gutierrez with Sacramento County Planning. I will be presenting all three items tonight. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, this is Hal. I can hear you.
Perfect. So tonight we have three CPAC early workshop items. So I just wanted to briefly go over what an early workshop item is. So this is a pre-application review option that the county offers. So the early workshop allows applicants with an opportunity to present and receive community feedback at a CPAC meeting regarding their proposed project prior to submitting a formal application with the Planning and Environmental Review Division. So all of the items you are hearing tonight, no formal application has been submitted for these projects, and they are just requesting some early feedback. So with that, I will go ahead and start with the first item. This is an early CPAC workshop to discuss 3 potential layouts involving an automobile service station and convenience store proposal. The subject parcel is located on the southwest corner of West Elkhorn Boulevard and Marysville Boulevard in the Rio Linda, Alberta community. And if we can go to the next page. So this is the first layout. It proposes an automobile service station, convenience store, and drive-through car wash. We go to the next page. This is the second layout, which proposes an automobile service station, convenience store, and additional commercial building. Next slide. And this is the third layout, which proposes solely an automobile service station and convenience store. The applicant is here who can speak. We did receive one opposition letter from an adjacent neighbor who commented concerns about traffic, environmental concerns as well, impact concerns, and overall neighborhood compatibility. So with that, I'll conclude staff's report and we'll open it up to the applicant.
My name is Frank Walker. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with JTS Engineering. Javed Siddiqui was going to be here tonight, but he's at a planning commission meeting, so he's asked me to sit in. I think the explanation that's been provided is spot on. This client would like some input. He seeks to develop this corner. In discussions with the county, it appears that it's appropriate to be commercial, but if there's other opinions, we'd be interested in those. And these 3 site plans are just examples of what could be done, and we're looking for comments on them. Certainly, the last site plan has got the least amount of development on it. The first site plan provides a car wash and a drive-through fast food in conjunction with the convenience store. And the second proposal provided a convenience store, service station, and additional commercial. What the commercial would be is what's the neighborhood need. So that's kind of the very basics of it. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions or, anything that's developed on this site, of course, has to be approved by Fish and Wildlife to work in the creek. It has to be approved by Department of Water Resources as far as the lesser floods and the 100-year floods go. It will go through environmental review as part of a rezone and in a plan, general plan amendment. So any input that we can get, we appreciate, and it allows us to tailor this to more fit the community. Are there any questions?
This is member Chris. I do have, this is related to traffic. At West 2nd and Elkhorn is like during normal school time when we're not all teaching from home. It is already a traffic nightmare for people coming in and out of West Side Elementary. And there are lots of accidents that happen there. And so I just want to know if there's any plan on addressing the impact from this development that it's going to have 2 blocks down the road.
I would expect that as part of the review process, there would be a traffic study to determine the impacts of this project on the existing traffic and then existing traffic with this proposed project. And normally those studies provide mitigation, which may be widening lanes or signalization. It's a little premature for me to say what would be done, but I can safely say that it would be studied by traffic engineers, and that report would be approved before the project would be able to proceed.
Okay, I would like to add as part of the preliminary study that we don't forget that school is not in session currently, and that if the traffic study is going to be done, that it should be with that in mind.
You know, I read one last week, and it took in that COVID very much into account, and it took the traffic counts and it adjusted them upwards because it said that what we're seeing is not normal. So yes, the traffic engineers are quite aware of that lack of traffic right now, and they do compensate for that.
Okay. Members Hal and Reisig, do you guys have any questions?
This is Hal. Yeah, I have a couple of them. What is the exact address of the site?
You know, I don't have an address. Very frequently, addresses aren't assigned until a building permit is pulled. We have an assessor parcel number for the tax purposes. That's shown on the exhibit.
Okay. Normally, the federal post office has an address assigned to it already, but we'll wait for it. Of the three different plans there, one I would prefer number one because it is basically a full service gas station with I would assume a mini mart. Do we know who the gas provider would be?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. The second site, it's usually around here over the years, it seems like we've turned down something that would look more like a strip mall because of the transient traffic and lots of other reasons. For that matter, or for that reason, I really wouldn't want to see number two. And then number three basically kind of leaves it open, an incomplete plan because there's the large landscaped area there for, I would imagine, future building to go there.
It would seem to lend itself to that, yes.
So that one I'd kind of rule out. I'd rather see a completed project rather than something that's obviously not done yet. The traffic impact, definitely because of the problems that we do have with our school that's right down the block, basically. I think last I heard there's something like 30,000 cars a day. So it's a good place for a gas station, and I think it would actually, because of the traffic light that's already there, and with some other improvements, it would actually help slow down the traffic. But anyway, I think it would be good because it would help with the impact. There's a lot of we do have accidents at our intersection at Rio Linda Boulevard and Elkhorn, where the Cal gas station is. It's harder for people to get into that one. The people that are headed east have to make a U-turn, and then now that the Rite Aid's in there, there's a divider so people can't turn across the lanes in that. So this would actually be easier with the ingress for that traffic light on that corner for people to that were headed east make that left-hand turn and then come in that big driveway that's on the side there. So that would be my input right now. So
Thank you for your comments.
thank you. Robert.
Yeah, I also had a couple of questions. The first one, when Ms. Gutierrez was giving the presentation, she called it a service station. Now I'm proposing service station, and you guys have oil, tires, and that sort of thing. This is just a gas station and a convenience shop, right?
I believe you're correct, yes, sir.
Okay. And then as far as site preferences, I prefer number one, and the reason for that is the front of your store is facing Elkhorn and to a certain degree Marysville. It presents a brighter or a nicer, in my opinion, appeal or look to the site. Plus, I'm assuming that it's going to have, let's see, cameras, security cameras that should the necessity arise, can show traffic along Elkhorn and Marysville if we have ne'er-do-wells using those avenues to leave, as well as perhaps reviewing homeless traffic patterns. Because undoubtedly, that's probably the bad thing I see about number one, is that you're going to create an environment which would be conducive for some homeless individuals camping out there on occasion. So, but those are my comments.
Thank you for your comments. I would expect that the sheriff's department would condition any project regarding cameras and visibility, just for the reasons you're talking about. Yes.
This is Hal. I have another question. One, I agree with everything that Robert said, and of course what Chris said. But another question, is this project going to be owned by a local person?
You know, I can't tell you that. I don't know. It may be the intent, but in business, I wouldn't want to mislead you in that regard. It's currently owned by a local person, is my understanding. But there are future uses. I wouldn't want to speak to that. I think I could be misleading you. I have no idea.
Okay. Is it by chance the current owner, the Reese family?
You know, sir, I can't answer that question tonight because, again, I was asked to sit in on this meeting and I don't have the entire project file. I have basically the exhibits in front of you and a little information from Water Resources and Planning Department. So okay. I can't answer you. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
This is Member Chris again. I am in agreement with Bob and Hal. I do like number one the best as far as being a completed project and not having open areas, but it does look like there's some issues that the environmental planning agency would have to address. But other than that, I think that's good. Member Reisig, Member Hal, you guys have any more questions before we move on?
This is Hal. I'm good with everything that we've said so far.
Member Reisig?
Yeah. Well, with regard to the letter in protest, I would hope the Planning Commission would entertain perhaps alternate uses as opposed to a gas station there. I think as presented, I think we've covered all the issues there, and if the county wants to go forth with approving the gas station, that's fine. But I would also like to at least let the public member who had his concerns know that at least we hopefully will consider alternate use.
Absolutely.
Okay, if that's all the council's comments and questions, Stephanie, do you have anything else for this one?
This is Stephanie. We do have someone from the public on the line wishing to speak on the item whenever you're ready for public comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will send them through in just a moment. Give me 1 second. Hi, caller. You're in the meeting. Go ahead with your comment.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm the next door neighbor at 63 0 Marysville Boulevard, and I have concerns about this project going forward. I wrote a letter where I was more specific in the details of what I was concerned about, and I would like to just be short. I don't think it goes with the community having a gas station there, especially having this commercial property right next to a residential dwelling, and I was recently, as a matter of fact, approved by Sac County and Rio Linda to build an ADU right next to the outlet that they have on Marysville and Elkhorn. And so my concerns would be all the noise, the traffic that's going to be right next to the dwelling place, the safety, and the environment. And I was more specific in my letter on all the details that I was against this. And it's not just me, but it's also the next door neighbor and following neighbors. And we're all concerned about the transit problem, the traffic problem, and we just don't see a benefit. I mean, according to what they wrote down, 300 feet away, we have all the auto body services we need. 3,000 feet away, we have the gas station. So we really don't need the services that they want to provide in the residential area. That would be my comment. Thank you.
And that concludes your public comments.
Can we comment on the public comments?
Absolutely.
I do hope that in the plans there is some sort of noise mitigation consideration going on. For that reason, I'd hate for it to be a nuisance for all the neighbors.
I would expect that would be part of the environmental review.
Members Howler, Morris, members Morris or Isaac, do you guys have any other comments?
Yes, both Hal and Morris were good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Member Ricing. As far as a fast food outlet, they put a charbroiled burger spot in there. Hopefully Mr. Piskus likes the smell of burned meat wafting over his fence, because I remember being around those facilities at lunchtime and I started salivating because I could smell the burger before I could get into the place to buy it. So hopefully that's a consideration, the county, when they approve uses on this site. That's all I had.
Members having no more comments or concerns. Stephanie, do you have anything else on this agenda item?
No, that's it for this item unless the planner has anything to add.
Nothing to add.
Okay.
Is it possible to get a copy of the objection letter emailed to our office so we can address his concerns? Thank you very much.
I'll send that to you right now.
So with that, we can move to item 2 if the council is ready.
Ready.
Item 2, Sorrento Road proposal located at 7945 Sorrento Road on the southwest corner of West Alberta Road and Sorrento Road in the Rio Linda, Alberta community.
Hello again. So this is another early CPAC workshop to discuss a proposal. If we can go to the next page. Next one. We can go to the exhibit. Yeah, there we go. So the proposal is to rezone the 5.15 acre lot from interim agricultural reserve to light industrial. A use permit for use of the property as new headquarters for RCI Plumbing and General Contractors, and a design review for construction of a new 4-story office building, new warehouse building, and an outdoor service yard. And that will conclude staff's report. I believe the applicant is on the line as well.
This is Member Ricing. Have we received neighbor communication on it?
We did not receive any letters on this particular project.
Okay. can we hear from the
Applicant. Stephanie, you said the applicant was on the line.
Hi, this is Dan Rissy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go, Dan.
Okay, yeah, I thought my engineer, Richard Rosmowitz, was going to be on the line.
It looks like he is in the attendees portion. So he needs to use the same call-in and login that you have used. Let's look like he's
Okay.
using the public one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought I was on too. But I can answer questions if anybody has any of me.
But we can hear from you, Dan. You can let us know what you want to do here.
Sorry to
Well-
interrupt. This is Stephanie, the clerk. We do have Richard on the line as well. He's now joined.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. This is Richard Rosamovich with Area West Engineers, and we're the project engineers for the site. And this is the proposed new headquarters, corporate headquarters and shop operations for RCI and general contractors. They currently have their operation on M Street in Rio Linda, and hopefully within not too long of a future, they'll be able to move to their new site. The property address is 7945 Sorrento Road. Currently, the property is vacant with the exception of about a 71-foot tall rice silo. The proposal is to, as Kimberly explained, is to construct 4-story office, about 10,000 square feet. To the top plate of the 4th-story office, it'll be about 47 feet tall. The peak of the roof will be about 60 feet. There will be about 13,000 square feet of warehouse. The warehouse tall, the peak will be about 40 feet. The work yard area is going to be about 24,000 square feet. We're proposing about 45 parking stalls. All the improvements are going to meet the county specifications. And to the north of the site, we've got recreational reserve and 10-acre agricultural residential development. To the south, it's industrial reserve. To the east, it's industrial reserve. And I think you're familiar with the Western Area Power Facility, which is to the east. And to the west, we've got the railroad and recreational reserve. We've had some discussions with the county transportation, and there is a master plan. Sorrento is still a little bit in flux. So what we did is we proposed doing the intersection and putting in a cul-de-sac. We show the full improvements on Sorrento, but our plan is only to develop and do the improvements on the on the west side of the center line. The configuration that's shown is that could be the potential if the Western Power does some development, they can finish up the road. As far as the pavement on Sorrento, there will be 42 feet of pavement, 3 foot of curb and gutter. And when I say pavement, so from the center line, we're only going to construct 21 feet of pavement, 3 feet curb and gutter. There'll be an 8-foot landscape buffer, and then there will be a 5-foot separated sidewalk. On Alberta, you'll have from the center line going to the south, 45 feet of pavement. You'll have a 8-foot landscape with a separated 5-foot sidewalk. And ultimately, the county will have a signal light at the intersection of Alberta and Sorrento. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I believe Jennifer Munoz is the architect. I think she can help answer some questions if you have any specific questions. And with that, I conclude my presentation.
Thank you very much for that. This is Member Chris. I don't necessarily have any questions, but I did want to say that this is quite the impressive project, and I think it's a testament to RCI's business model, so kudos for that. Member Reisig, Member Morris, do you guys have any questions or comments?
Hey, Richard, this is Hal Morris. I'm glad to hear that you're still alive and kicking.
Thank you very much. I feel great.
Hey, you're welcome. Hey, again, I agree with Chris. This is a great project. Reese family has done a lot of good things for the Rio Linda, Alberta communities, and I totally support Dan and his project. What is going to happen with the property on M Street? Do you know by any way?
I'll have to have Greg answer that. I have no idea.
Okay. Probably too soon to tell anyway, right?
Well, I'm sure the project, it'll probably take about 2 or 3 years before they'll move into this. So we've got a lot of things to go through. Ultimately, the Board of Supervisors is going to approve the rezone and the project. So we've got a ways to go.
Okay. Like I said, you guys totally have my support on this project.
Thank you. And I was very impressed that Greg and Dan selected Jennifer for the architect. I'm just blown away by this project.
Cool. Yeah, it's a great project. Okay, I'm done, Chris.
Alberta, some point in time expanding lanes. You're taking this into account, correct, in your plans?
I didn't understand what you just asked me.
Yeah, breaking up.
The Alberta Road is going to be expanded into 4 lanes. It's currently 2, and whenever Alberta Pacific Plan gets kicked into high gear, the transportation area is the thing that's holding it up. Assuming that you're taking into consideration that the Alberta Road by your property will be a 4-lane road eventually, you're taking that into consideration in your plans. Is that correct?
That is correct. We actually have designed a site plan for the ultimate expansion of Alberta and Sorrento. Yes.
Super. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Dan. I got a quick comment.
Go ahead.
Going back to to the other project on Marysville, Elkhorn Boulevard, I just wanted to, somebody asked if our family owned the property. We do not, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, Dan.
And as far as our business location when we leave, we don't have plans. We just hope, that somebody in the community would probably want to keep it and maybe lease it, or we'd be, maybe have to sell it too, but to the right people. But no plans yet.
This is Member Chris. The local theater company needs a home. Just wink,
go.
wink. Council members, or do you guys have any more comments or questions for the project?
No.
Nope. I agree with everybody else.
Stephanie, do you have any public comment or people on the line?
This is Stephanie. We have not received any public comments, and we do not have anybody waiting on the line.
Okay, with that, if nobody has any more comments, concerns, questions, I think we can move on.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3 is Hickory Hank's Barbecue Proposal, located at 1330 Elkhorn Boulevard on the southwest corner of Elkhorn Boulevard and 14th Street in the Rio Linda, Alberta community.
Real quick, if you guys aren't speaking, if you could mute your microphones, please. We're getting some feedback. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, good. Hello again. This is Kimber. If we can go down to page 21. Oh, wait, go up. Yeah, keep going. Get to the site plan. One more. There we go. Perfect. No, down one, yeah. Okay, so this is an early CPAC workshop to discuss a proposal to change the general plan and zoning designations of a portion of an existing 2.5 acre lot, which is currently zoned agricultural 2, agricultural residential 2 to limited commercial, in order to allow for Hickory Hank's Barbecue to provide restaurant services. So if we go down to the next page, you will see on the left is the existing general plan, community plan and zoning, which is all agricultural residential or agricultural residential 2. And then on the right, you will see what they're proposing. So it is a portion of the entire lot. So it'd be the northern portion. And that portion is 0.87 acres. And with that, I will turn it over to the applicant, who I believe is on the line.
Hi, this is Hank, Hickory Hank's Barbecues. As some of you might know, I've been doing this for 30 years and have lived here on this piece of property for 25 years here in Rio Linda, as well as being a former residential person in Rio Linda. Trying to keep my business going through COVID has made it very difficult due to my main business being catering and some special events. And so being open more often has caused a problem with my use permit, and I'm trying to get this squared away so that I might be able to continue paying my mortgage and continue living in Rio Linda and providing a good service to all the people that I know in Rio Linda and have been frequently in my business. I'm kind of concerned that this has all come down at such a terrible time for me and businesses like mine, and I'm hoping that there can be some consideration and help within the community and the county to see me get through this without too many painstaking problems. And kind of at this point, I have a good friend of mine, Nick, who is taking my hand for me and helping me through this. And he is a land use attorney, and I'm going to have him take over for me now, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, thanks for that, Hank. Everybody, Nick Abdus. I'm with the Thomas Law Group, helping Hank on this pro bono. Hank is a really good friend of mine, and once he told me what he was dealing with, I certainly jumped at the opportunity to help him. He's a good man, and I really respect the hard work he's put into his place there at the Hickory Hank's Barbecue there on Elkhorn Boulevard. Just by way of background, Hickory Hank about 10 years ago got a use permit approved for this site to allow for an event center and a bed and breakfast. That was approved by the county, I think, in 2010. So there were commercial activities that were approved in the AR zone at that time. If you look at the exhibit that's on the page now and look at the satellite photo, you can see that the site is actually built out. We're not proposing anything new. It's really just to continue his business that he's been operating out there, especially during obviously this whole COVID thing. The issue was that there was an issue with code enforcement. They determined that he is operating a restaurant takeout window, because it's not an actual sit-down restaurant, it's just a takeout window. there at the site, and in order to be able to do that at the frequency that he's doing, which is a few times a week, we needed to obtain certain land use entitlements because commercial activities of the type that were previously approved on the site are no longer permitted in the zoning code, so we couldn't amend the use permit. So really, Hank faced the real question, which was shut down his business or make a run at trying to get the approvals necessary. I mean, and these are, obviously these are no small approvals on the kind of the spectrum of land use entitlements. This is like the full Monty here. And so I advised Hank to obviously do his homework because this is an expensive process. I mean, we're looking down the barrel of at least, somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $60,000 worth of application fees. And, it's all sort of discretionary. The Board of Supervisors ultimately has to approve it. But really, I've been doing this for 20 years in the land use business. If the community gets behind something, that's definitely a step in the right direction, and really gives Hank the confidence that writing these checks are not, going to be thrown away. I mean, I think, the reality is that Hank's going to mortgage his house to pay for this. This is his source of income to provide for his family. There's already an existing commercial use there. I think personally that this is kind of unfortunately for Hank, fell between a kind of a technicality of sorts. But, we're at where we're at. I think we're before you today to get input. I'm hoping of the degree that will give Hank the confidence that, writing these checks for tens of thousands of dollars will actually result in him, actually getting approval of his project. And the approval's not before you today, but your strong support is going to send the right message to staff and others that the community values Hickory Hank's business and supports him going forward. I think this process can move pretty fast because, again, we're not proposing any new structures. It's just, or increase in business activity. It's what he's doing today. So anyway, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, and thank you for your consideration.
This is Member Chris. Thank you for your guys' words on that. I don't have any questions. I am really sorry for the process that you have to go through just to keep doing business. I do support you, and I hope that it's smooth sailing from here on out, to be honest. Member Reisig, Member Morris, do you guys have any comments or questions?
Morris does. Hey, I just want to say that I've been here longer than 25 years, but the 25 years that I've known Hickory Hanks, I've had a Morris on the football team, so go Knights, and the things that Hank has done and his staff have done for the community have been above and beyond what the average person does. So I totally support this project and whatever rezoning he needs. And I'd like to ask the county if they have a way of finding out what part of this project can be grandfathered in and what type of fee waivers that hopefully this CPAC can recommend be done for Hickory Hanks.
So, Commissioner, this is Chris. I'm sorry, I say Commissioner. CPAC member Harris. Hal. Sorry, this is Chris Pahuli. In terms of fee waivers, our county code only allows for fee waivers in the case where there has been staff error or some error in processing of an application, and so circumstances such as this, there really aren't any opportunities for waivers of application fees. I think as Nick Aptis kind of pointed out, I think the application that will be eventually before the CPAC and Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors, as well as the two that you heard before this, I think he accurately pointed out these are kind of very important land use decisions that are going to be before all of these boards and commissions and advisory groups. They're asking for not only the ability for these types of activities to continue on, but by rezoning these properties, you're certainly allowing for a full range of commercial activities or industrial activities, depending on the projects that are before you, to allow them to continue to do those types of uses, not necessarily the one that's in front of you today or tomorrow, but in perpetuity, right? And so some of these areas are in ag and ag-res areas, and by rezoning to LC in this case, and can't recall exactly the ones that were the previous two, but by rezoning those properties, those types of uses will continue on in perpetuity. Again, not maybe the user that's in front of you, but uses that may be the same or similar or different, but allowed within that zoning category in the future. So
Okay,
I hope that responded to some of the questions that you had.
Well, actually, I was curious because of a couple things. I've been on CPAC for 25 years now, and I know we've done a lot of revising on the zoning along Elkhorn. I'm not exactly sure if we've actually done something to this property over the years, but it's possible. That's why I was thinking that because he's been there and he's been doing the business for 25 years, that there might be a possibility that at one time the zoning was different on that property. So that's basically, I know maybe you guys have already checked into whatever the past zoning was, and I know you want to go by what the new stuff is, but it's very possible there was another zoning on this property at one time. And a lot of the properties along Elkhorn now have been rezoned to commercial. So I would just like to see if county could look into that, so that, because $50,000 to $60,000 is a lot of money for a mom and pop business. So,
Member Morris, this is Nick Abdis. If I may, just for a minute, I agree with what you're saying. And in fact, the zoning code the county has was updated in the last 5 or 6 years. Prior to that time, there were certain levels of commercial activities that were permitted in the AR zone, conditionally permitted with a use permit. And so, yes, you're correct that at the 10 years ago, Hickory Hank was able to get a use permit that allowed a certain level of commercial uses out on the site, including an event center and a bed and breakfast. The unfortunate thing is that since the county zoning code was changed, that no longer allows those types of uses. We'd rather do a use permit amendment, and to Mr. Pahuli's point about, you're getting a rezone and that changes the property forever. I want to be clear that that's not our first desire. We don't want to do a rezone, but the reality is that this is the only option, unless the county is willing to entertain a zoning text amendment, which we had engaged in previous discussions with the county, said they weren't interested in doing that. And really the only option is the one before you. I'd rather be in a position where we're amending the existing approved use permit, but unfortunately the county code doesn't allow us that flexibility. Well, I'll stop there. Thank you.
The thing is, there is a reason why we have a CPAC in this community, and the Board of Supervisors has listened to this CPAC for a lot of different things that affect this community over the years. So that's why I think that amending the use permit or amending something is a possibility if this CPAC supports it. That's it.
Member Reisig, did you have any comments or questions?
Only for the fact that it's clear that Hickory Hanks is a well thought of community asset. Simply the petitions here and the stuff that I've seen online supporting him and his business. I've enjoyed his business on a number of occasions. I wouldn't want to see it go away. In fact, I would rather he investigate using one of the delivery services to deliver his food, so I don't have to drive over there because I'm just basically lazy. But I would support this zoning change wholeheartedly.
This is
Okay.
Member Chris. Go ahead, Bob. Did you have something to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. This is Member Chris. I am fully in support, just like Hal and Bob here, and I wish it was easier for you, like I said earlier. Stephanie, did you have any public comments or people on the line?
This is Stephanie. We did have 13 public comments that were already routed to the council. We do have one verbal comment that is waiting on the line.
Can you patch them through?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hey caller, you're in the meeting. Go ahead with your comments.
Great. This is Camille Pena. I am Rio Linda as well as a business owner in the food service industry, and I just wanted to express my complete and utter support for Hickory Hanks, both as a resident but also as somebody in this industry. Of course, I would love for the county to consider a variance instead of a change to the use, strictly because of the fact that it does carry in perpetuity. And if in fact we are going to have to change the permitted use, would like to see a stipulation put on it that the parcel remains intact. But again, completely and utterly support Hickory Hanks and wish that the county could find a way to make this less painful, especially during these COVID times.
Thank you for your comments. Stephanie, do you have any other public comment for us?
No, that was your only public comment.
Members Reisig and Morris, do you guys have any comments on the comments?
Nope, I'm good.
As am I. I'm good.
All right. Hanks or Hickory Hanks, it appears you have our support. Please continue moving forward. We wish you the best of luck. And county, we hope you hear that the community supports them getting this done with as much easiness as possible. That's not even a word, but that's okay.
Well,
All right.
I appreciate the CPAC committee and all the support. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
To you.
All right. If we have nothing else on this agenda item, Stephanie, would you like to call the next thing on the agenda?
Yes, item 4 is a staff update.
This is Chris Pahuli. We do not have an update this time.
Then your next agenda item is item 5, council member comments.
This is Member Chris. First, I hope there's still members of the public listening in. We need you to become a CPAC member. There's 3 of us currently, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but we can have up to 7. And the more voices we have, the better for our community. Also, I have asked Stephanie for the next meeting to add electing a chair to our agenda. As most of you know, Susie, our chair, had to step down for the time being, so the chair seat is vacant. Members Morris and Reisig, do you guys have anything to add during this time?
This is Hal, and I just have a question for the county on, I got a information for something that'll be on our next agenda, It's on West Elkhorn and West 6th. I forgot to write down the parcel number. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about?
Is it the, sorry, this is Chris Pahuli again. Is this the parcel map that's on?
Yeah, it's 2.03 acres.
It's a one lot parcel map. Is that the one that you're talking about? That's the only one that's sort of coming to my mind right now.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but they've got the address down as 624 Elkhorn Boulevard instead of West Elkhorn. They've got Elkhorn separated the word instead of one word.
Got it. That was on the mailed notice. Is that what you're saying?
It's on the tentative parcel map that I'm looking at from Stugum Consulting Engineers. So it's in the online. So
You're right, Chris. It was in the.
Go ahead, say it again. The
Well,
print
Chris,
is so small I can't read it.
And the
Okay.
description I got into it is inconsistent. One item on the description listed as the southeast corner of Elkhorn and West 6th, and then the other one says it's the southwest corner. So, and both of them are vacant fields.
Yeah, it is the southwest corner. I will work with I'll work with staff and get that corrected.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Any other council member comments or concerns?
That's all I had.
And for my part, I want to be the first to say just and Happy New Year to all you folks.
Hey, I wanted to do that.
Same to you guys.
And stay safe, everybody.
All right, I think that concludes council member comments.
And your last item on the agenda is public comments, which we did not receive any off-agenda public comments.
Okay, having no public comments, then we can adjourn.
Yay.
Meeting adjourned at 8:01 p.m.
Good job, Chris.
Thanks, Hal. All right, see you guys. See you guys next time.
Okay, bye-bye.